these are unopened herbs. I do like to have herbs and spices and things, and I've got some, what is that? Paprika, and I think I've got some cayenne that my sister brought back from Rick Stein's when she went there. I've got another pot I think up on the cupboard, but my opened spices and herbs I keep separately, but I'll show you that in a minute. And my final drawer are apple pie seasoning, and I think at the back I've got a pumpkin pie yet spice, and also cinnamon and sugar, which I did import these from America. I've had them for quite some time, but as far as I'm concerned, sugar, it doesn't really go off. And this is excellent on porridge, pies, anything like that. It's a really nice spice. I have got a couple of bags here, aren't mine. We spent the Jubilee weekend in Devon with my sister and her family, and we've got a rather small car with 2 children and my sister and brother-in-law, and she likes buying groceries that she can't get when we're back home here, so we brought them back in our car, so that's what are in these big bags here. My bottom shelf, we don't actually use this shelf too much. Oh, that's Pansy. That's my baby. She's always with me, so in any films that I do, she's bound to crop up because she doesn't leave my side, do you, darling? So I've got some, these are hot chocolate sachets. Oh, that's basil as well. And these are an import item that I buy on eBay. And they're quite good. I mean, if you were doing children's goodie bags or anything like that, come the autumn and winter, they'd be a great little thing because you get the coloured marshmallows and stuff in. Lots of salt. I was a little bit of a prepper a few years ago, so I heard, yeah, must keep lots of salt in. Obviously it's good for hygiene, things like that, so I did go to Lidl and we kind of wiped out their salt aisle. Aren't you helpful? No, not really. I've got pasta, dried pasta, dried onions, I've got dried peas, I've got some Uncle Ben's rice. All of these are quite cheap to keep, but obviously, you know, even with sell-by dates, they're dry goods, so they tend to last for a long time, so at least you know that you can make a soup or something and just pull it out, so I do quite like that notion. We've got some long life milk there, which we do need to stock up on. With our lovely cereal, we go through a lot of milk, so they should be in there, but it's actually quite a sorry state. This shelf unit here, I've got some more dried goods at the top, some Paxo, I think that's probably a British company, for seasonings and things. What's she doing? My husband's taking liberties now and recording behind the door, which he really shouldn't be. We're on this shelf now. If he's taking liberties, I knew I shouldn't have gotten involved. So I've got dried macaroni cheese, I've got stuffing, which I don't really use at this time of year, come the winter. These are savoury condiments. You're probably wondering what's in here. It looks slightly on the dodgy side, but it's actually peanut butter. Right, I have a slight issue with packaging of opening products. I think they look messy. And my fridge, I don't have any condiments unless they're in these pots. So, yeah, I'll show you the fridge if anyone wants to see it at another point. I've got pudding rice because I've really got nowhere to put that. And here I've got olives and olive oil. Baked beans, because my son eats lots of baked beans. And here I've got tinned fish and these little steak spray bentos pies, puddings, which I bought on offer in Tesco's. And I like to keep these kind of things in. We work for ourselves, my husband does, and so we often live from our pantry at the end of the month when we've got bills to pay, so it's great to be able to come in here and know we've got things. The top of this shelf, which is on the other wall, I've got meatballs, I've got some goose fat which was left over from Christmas, it's a tin, so I can use that this year. The shelf below are sweet condiments, so I've got syrups, I've got some maple syrup, things that I've also got some marshmallows. Really can't remember what's in the pot behind, I think it's something sweet. This shelf are again sweet condiments and a pot of hot chocolate which doesn't fit in my drink drawers, so I've also got some little sprinkly things and some little things for ice cream. Now behind these are vegetable baskets which I bought recently, and they were £2 each in my local kind of cheapy store, and they're here and they're blocking off essentially these shelves here, but these are fruits on this one, and below are tinned and jarred vegetables which don't really get used. I might use them you know, in the winter to throw in a stew or something, but they don't really get used, so that's why they're kind of blocked in. The fruit's more likely to get used, so you can actually access that. So I bought these was it last week? Like I said, they were about £2 each, and they're the stackable vegetable baskets. Now, the reason they're in this, the reason that they're at an angle is as they stack, they lean. So if they were to stack against here, they'd be leaning outwards. So that's why they're at an angle, because it's a bit more pleasing to the eye. So I keep rice, not big rice eaters. I'm about the only rice eater. Spaghetti, novelty pasta for our niece, who turned her nose up at it, so I'm using it in soups at the moment. Then crisps and sweet snacks, and then these are all the little packets of cereal that have been opened, that my husband and son are going through, and then some big boxes of cereal, and these are the new Sharwood Indian and Chinese wrap kits. Haven't tried them yet, so they may be a permanent part of the pantry, but if they don't go down well, then they won't. On the floor there's a big pot of open rice. It doesn't get, I might make a risotto for myself now and again, but the rest of the family, my husband only likes rice and the Chinese. And my son is okay, and I keep these, which are what you put your cans, which you get the cans on, and they're just so much easier to stack your cans on the cardboard base than it is to try and balance them on top of each other. So in the supermarkets just let you take them because they'd only recycle them anyway. So yeah, they're brilliant. You can also then move a whole tray of 6 as opposed to having to move an individual can each time. So they're really good, and like I said, the supermarket just let you take them on. So that's I've got some pasta hidden in the corner because we've got kind of a dead space over in the corner where the automatic light is. So I keep a load of pasta because that is one thing that we do use lots of here. So my other storage space is behind the door. So I'm going to get my husband to come in with the camera and show you behind the door, and I can tell you, oh hello, oh Basil was caught behind the door. So behind the door we've got a new shelf. I'll let you go in, we'll do a trade here. We've got a new shelf which I caught my husband putting up last week. It's his soup station. So he keeps all his soup on there, and it fits perfectly behind the door. So that's a brilliant use of dead space. I'm all about using up any space you can. Next to it are they are mini really useful boxes. I love really useful, and I keep all my herbs are in the bottom ones, then my spices, and then it's all cake decoration, so it's sprinkles, muffin cases, all of that kind of thing, and at the very top stock cubes, which are all divided into their types. So there are 4 units there, or they're 4 individual units, but they're all on top of each other and they're stuck to the wall. So they're brilliant because they're in a dark space, which herbs and spices need, and they're all individually labelled. So yeah, that's a really good way of storing spices, I feel. On the floor I've got a single step up step, which I need for the top shelves because some of us aren't 6'6", and next to it are some little boxes which I keep things like melamine cups and saucers in, things like that, which I don't really have a home for in my china cupboard because they're not china. I'm funny in that way. So behind the door, just a hook where I keep a freezer bag, a bag which my brother-in-law brought me back some chocolate from South Africa, and a hang-away, which are one of those drying things which we don't really use. My father-in-law bought me a tumble dryer, so that's what's on the go in the background if you can hear it. So yeah, so I've got a small kitchen which, if anyone's interested, I will show you at some point when it's a little bit tidier. But it is a small kitchen. We've made the most of the space we possibly can, and I've got another tool cupboard in there which storage-wise is quite interesting, so I shall probably do a film on that with all my crockery, you know, china and everything in there, because I do have quite a lot of that, and I've got you know, some storage ideas. So yeah, so this pantry is just amazing to be able to have everything in one zone. So I hope that you maybe got some ideas. I'll appreciate any feedback, negative or positive. Fingers crossed it's positive. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope you become as happy being organised as I am. Okay, thanks. Bye.